I was about to go and have see consultants to have my back operated on because of prolapsed discs, degenerative disc disease, which I had suffered with for about 10 years, but had got a lot worse as I'd been pregnant. So yeah, that's where I was, and Daryll offered to do some stuff with me. And this, I think we had the NLP day on the Monday, and I was due to see my consultant on the Thursday, so we didn't have a huge amount of time. So I managed to delay my consultant appointment, which wasn't easy. It took quite a bit of courage, because in my mind at that point, the consultants are the experts. They know exactly what they're talking about, and I had been told very clearly that all their sort of I think the right word, but sort of invasive treatment like acupuncture, physiotherapy, chiropractor that I'd been having for a long time wasn't doing any good. And it wasn't doing any good because I was still in a lot of pain. So that really the only option was to go and have surgery, which I was reasonably okay with, until they'd said to me that there was a 50% chance that once they took the discs out, bolted my spine, that the discs above would then go. And at the time I was only 32, I didn't really want to go and have surgery, and my goal had always been just to put it off for as long as possible. So that's where we started. I had 3 prolapsed discs, but the bottom one was badly prolapsed and kind of digging into all my nerves. So that's the one that used to give me a lot of sciatica, and I would walk and my whole leg would give way on me where it was rubbing on the nerve. I couldn't walk around the whole of Sainsbury's with my shopping trolley. I'd have to get my husband to come with me to push the trolley because the pain of pushing something heavy was just too much. My little boy Harry, I couldn't pick him up without it hurting, and I just moved funny. So to get up, I'd do this funny get up on my knees, thighs first to get up, in bed to roll over. And I used to disturb my husband. I used to grab the headboard and bounce myself over rather than just roll over. So yeah, just day-to-day life. I lived with pain. I used to have a TENS machine on at work most days. Yeah, and I saw lots of different consultants, and they were all very lovely, but they were quite forceful that I needed to have surgery. And I'm not the most courageous person, so it took a lot of balls to turn around and say, I'm just not ready for it yet. I'm not saying never, but just not at the moment. So it's a bit blurry. We went to a squash court a couple of times, just a few times, with a yoga mat, did some movement stuff, a couple of NLP techniques. I can remember sort of setting up unconscious signals about when I would be able to heal myself. I remember walking around the room doing really funny walks, and then going home at night and doing lots of visualisation in bed of my back sucking itself back in. That's what I used to do in my bed at night. So we had one little mini session at the day with the horses. And that night, when we got up in the morning, my husband said to me he'd had the best night's sleep ever because I hadn't done the whole bouncing over thing. So already I felt taller. Because I'm tall, I tend to slouch anyway. So I felt taller already, but I was still getting some discomfort. So then we had probably 2 sessions in the squash court. And then I saw Daryll. So this was over the space of just a couple of months. Saw Daryll again, and he said, "How do you feel?" And I was fixed. I knew at that point that was it was fixed. So the whole having the MRI thing was lovely, and it was nice to see it, but I wasn't in pain anymore, and that's all that mattered to me. So we had the before MRI, which showed the bottom 3 discs, and one in particular was really badly prolapsed. And then on the new MRI, there is no prolapse. They're all just completely back in again, which is cool. I went back to the pain clinic in April, maybe a bit before, and they discharged me. I'm done. They don't really know how it happened. And they've just said that when it hurts again, which it won't, when it hurts again, I can go back and just get referred back to see them again, but they're not really that interested. They just know that I'm not in pain anymore. So.